Hey, morning. It's Mindset Monday, and I'm so excited to talk about this topic. This has been something that I have been learning for quite some time, and it's still something that I continue to learn and grow in. And I was talking to a friend yesterday about it, actually, because she has a mindset practice, and her mindset practice is about 2 hours long. And I'm like, how do you make yours 2 hours long? And one of the cool things that I gathered from another friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, is when she does her mindset practice is to gear her up to fuel her for a marathon, whereas mine is to fuel me for a sprint because I'm just learning. So I began to understand it doesn't matter what her mindset practice is. She's been practicing this and she's been developing it over time and finding what works for her. And that's a powerful place to start here. I don't want you to you know, create some ridiculous practice for yourself every morning that doesn't that feels like overwhelming and like too much. It's actually quite the opposite. The the number one thing to remember about a mindset practice is to start with something small and something that inspires you, something that feels really good for you in the morning, that like brings up your energy for the day. Because oftentimes I know that I've done this. I'm just ready to like rush out the door. This is how I lived most of my life. I would wake up at the last possible moment and just be like, oh, I gotta rush. And then my whole day feels rushed and it feels so weird. It feels so like uncomfortable. And the fact that I did this for this long and didn't realize it until now, um, it took me until about like 6 months ago to really understand the power of having a mindset practice that you use every single day. And it's taken me time to develop it. But the things that you really need to consider in doing a mindset practice is what's going to feel really good for you. That's the first thing. What's going to take about 15 minutes of time, right? And what will inspire you to do it every single day consistently in the morning? First thing that you do in the morning. And when you try to find something that matches those three criteria, you're going to start feeling really good about it. It took me a long time to do this. And let me be clear, your mindset practice will change over time also. When I first started my mindset practice, I was choosing to do a guided meditation that my coach at the time had provided all of her people, and it was really powerful for me because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So following what somebody else gave me was super great. And if y'all want something to follow, please let me know in this thread. I'm happy to provide it, but I need to get feedback from you to hear that you want something like that, a visualization, a manifestation practice that you can follow for 15 minutes. I can totally do that. Um, so I started with that. And then in about a month, I was like, I'm kind of actually over it. It was no longer feeling right. And when it doesn't feel right, it means it's time to make a change in it, time to do something different. And this is like the learning process, right? This is how to figure out what to do for your mindset practice. And so then I went to listening to a particular set of songs each morning, and just like feeling really good about that energy, that feeling of like listening to those songs. Like they were pretty powerful songs. It was like, Katy Perry Firework and Katy Perry Roar, or like a Beyonce song. It was like pretty beautifully touching and moving music for me, and meaningful for me. And now, what I've been doing, which has been like my favorite practice, I've been doing this consistently for a couple of months already, and I'm still not sick of it. So I think this one might be here to stay for quite some time. Um, I really take my time getting out of bed. Like I purposely set my alarm and wake myself up early and allow myself to sleep in. So I set two alarms, Um, and I set the first one for 6:30 and then the next one for 7:30, and I slowly get up. Like I'm more awake because I've already hit that alarm, like I've already woken up to the alarm. Um, but I'm more awake and I'm relishing, I'm feeling into the feeling of waking up slowly, feeling into the feeling of lying in bed and just enjoying being in bed. Because for me, I'm such a doer in so many ways that like taking that time to just be and enjoy my bed means something to me, and I just absolutely love it. So that has been a really powerful piece of my practice now. And then when I feel like I've fully enjoyed my time in my bed, I do a quick practice where I list a set of affirmations that are important to me at this time. These change, but currently they haven't been shifting very much. But I have like 5 to 7 of them that I say to myself, and then I do a visualization. Um, and the visualization will change over time, but as of right now, it's like what I choose to do is feel into what it would feel like in a certain part of my life where I'm trying to achieve a goal. Or not trying, but aiming to achieve a goal, right? And feel what it feels like to be in that space, like in the space of already having it, whatever that is. So for you, if it's a new career, feel into the space of what it would feel like to commute to a job that you absolutely love, or to be at work in a career that you absolutely love. And like relish in that, like really feel deeply into that. That is going to be a really powerful practice. Rather than thinking of all the details of what it would look like, just feel into what it would feel like for you. And think of the words that come out of that. And I finish my practice with a brief silence where I say, I am a vessel for God, and I want to know what God has in store for me for the day. What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to be? And I don't always receive like a download, if you will, but I do receive downloads in this space, because when you get quiet, when you stop the doing and you just be for a few minutes, where you're not even like thinking, you're just focusing on your breath, you're allowing for that space for that creativity to jump in, because you're creating a vacuum. You're creating a space where something can enter. And whether you believe in God or the universe or any of that, like you can cut the woo-woo piece out of it for yourself, but you can say, what am I supposed to do today? And just get quiet and see what comes into your mind, see what pops up, see what what you want to be doing, and feel inspired by that and go for that. That has been a really powerful way for me to get new creative ideas, because when I'm like, sitting down at my desk and being like, what am I going to do that's new and creative? There's a certain energy around that where I'm like, I have to do something right now. Whereas just being quiet and still brings up a whole other group of ideas that tend to be a lot more powerful for me, tend to be a lot more meaningful, and don't take as much time as I thought that some other ideas would be. So let me recap this. The things that you really want to do to make sure that you create a mindset practice that works for you is first having something small, something that you feel that doesn't feel overwhelming to you, and something that feels really good. Make it last for 15 minutes as a meditation or as a practice in the morning. And then, and you want to be consistent with it every single day. And find something that's going to that feels naturally really good. Something really, really good. And make sure that you do that. In the end, my mindset practice takes me about an hour, because I purposely have built in an hour's worth of time to like lazily get out of my bed. But that's what's meaningful to me now. And it wasn't always like that. At first, I did start with a 15-minute practice, and that was, or like even an 8-minute practice, I think, at one point. And that was what I needed at that time. So trust yourself in what you want to create. Share with us what your mindset practice is going to look like for now. I'd love to hear what different people have for mindset practice, because it adds inspiration and it builds for everybody else what they can potentially do, which could be very exciting for everybody. And this is something that I really encourage you to keep up in your life, because this is the way to feel good in your job even when you're not happy in your job. great in your life because you can be grateful for the things that are going on in your life. You know, it's just such a great way to start the day, rather than thinking, oh, what's my to-do list? So give yourself that gift in your life of a mindset practice. Give yourself that space to just be with yourself, because you'll find amazing things come out of that. And I can't wait to see what you create. Love you guys. Bye.